Welcome back to The Current. Second episode of The Current. Wow.
We survived being shut down.
Yes, yeah, we're still here. We're still here.
We haven't been canceled.
Let's see if we can change that this week. We're going to talk about cancel.
Is that our goal?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Push it until we push too far.
Okay.
Yeah. We got to know where the boundaries are. Right?
It isn't. Listen, with our collective general bent, it's not going to take very long.
No, it will not. So this week we're going to talk about cancel culture.
Oh, before we get canceled.
Yeah, let's get ahead of it.
Okay.
Sure.
So in the news, it's been all over the place that people have been getting canceled for one thing or another. Mm-hmm. And it's usually left-wing people are canceling right-wing stuff. Like ideologies and thoughts and people and
the liberal agenda
is
sure. canceling
anything
traditional agenda. I don't want to say right, but tradition.
Yeah,
they're canceling tradition. Look at, we've had monuments forever. We've had all. I don't think it's necessarily right wing that's being canceled. Right. Of course they are, but all the way up to just anybody with traditional values is being canceled.
I would say typically the more progressive liberal agenda is canceling anything that's not the emotion of the moment.
Yeah. Which we've talked about in private many times, that if this cancel culture continues, it will end up canceling everyone
itself.
That's not you.
Yeah.
I will cancel everybody that's not me.
And
are we seeing that happen?
Yeah, and in news now, they are eating their own. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it has to.
Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended, not fired, like most of...
Which is like a little bit of a slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
And that's kind of it.
But she's ticked off about it, you know, but whatever, you know, because she said, man, I got to stop doing that. She had mentioned stuff about the Holocaust and the Jews were not killed because of their race.
Yeah.
You know.
What? What were they killed for?
They were the inferior race according to the people in charge, and they were
that is
done away with.
Maybe one of the most uneducated statements to ever come out of somebody's mouth.
However, I feel like maybe it's just this fact of how many people don't know that the Jews are a race and a religion, and I think she thought they were just a religious group. Maybe.
Maybe.
You know, that... Oh, they're Jewish by religion, but they are actually Jewish by race
as
well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another one that popped up on my feed today. I saw Aquafina. Do you know who that is?
That's a person? I thought you were talking about like the water.
Yeah. No, it's not spelt like that either.
Oh.
It's AWK Aquafina. Yeah. Anyway,
who is this?
She's a Asian comedian, actress. She's big on stuff. She's been in lots of stuff. She's a current star, and she's also on that side. Well, she ended up canceling her Twitter account because she was getting flack for how she talks. She has a black scent.
And who was criticizing her?
Everyone on Twitter was just lighting her up. And it was,
why?
Because she has an accent.
Because of the way she talks, yeah.
Do they think that she was mocking? Is that it? Like,
maybe.
you're just doing this to mock how some people talk?
Yeah.
Is black scent like blackface?
I guess. Vocal blackface, yes. Or you talk like a black person,
making fun of how some black people talk.
I just assumed it was where she grew up, you know? But apparently...
I have no idea who she is.
Other people are not taking it that way. But yes, they're starting to eat their own. It's interesting.
Well, it has to. As soon as you take away free speech and you start saying, well, free speech is anything that I agree with, well, hello, is that still free? I mean,
no.
How much logic does it take to understand free speech means you can say something I disagree with? That's the whole point of free speech.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to say you can't say whatever you want, you can only say what I agree with, but what if my values change? Who am I? You know, it comes down to that.
It's the same problem with socialism. Eventually, you run out of other people's money.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the same thing with this progressive, whatever you want to call it, agenda. eventually you run out of other people to start attacking.
You run out of targets. Yeah.
And like, well, Trump's out of office and we've canceled all, conservative or traditional outlets. So we got Whoopi left. Well, let's go after her.
So here's a great question for us. And that would be, is there any time that you guys feel that would be appropriate to cancel somebody? What if somebody was Nazi speech, Ku Klux Klan? What if there were some of those things that were actually real organizations that were trying to gain influence in America?
I think there still are those.
There are, but where it was more prevalent or making more of a difference, would we then say we need to shut that down or cancel that?
My personal opinion is, if you nitpick, well, first of all, who's going to decide what's canceled and what's not? And eventually, if you play that out, we're going to be at the exact same spot. So my opinion would be, no, don't cancel anything and let people decide what they're going to support and what they're not.
Yeah,
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah,
unless
100%.
there is, it's got to go past speech. I don't believe there is a reason to be offended by what people say. I don't believe it. Maybe it's how I was taught, but people mock my God constantly. They use my Lord's name in vain constantly, and I don't take it personal. You don't believe in him, so of course you're going to talk
Isn't that
like
what
that.
we grew up with? Sticks and stones,
Yeah,
may break my bones, but
words
words
never hurt me.
I mean, I just kind of grew up with that, and yep, words can be painful, I guess, but whatever.
But that's part of
grow
up, toughen up, and realize not everybody has my values, and that's okay. However, I think it might cross a line when a group or it's not speech, when actions of a group start to steal, kill, and destroy other innocent people physically. It can't be verbally. That is ridiculous in my eyes. But when it's physical destruction or hurting, if the KKK was actually burning people at the stake or things, obviously it's illegal. We'd have to stop it. Right. So illegal activity is illegal
different.
Activity than just speech or opinion. We have moved to a place in our culture where you don't have a right to your opinion. We're there right now. I do not have a right to my opinion.
Yep.
Isn't that one of the core values of America that makes America different than the rest of the world? Isn't that what the good thing is about our system? Is that we don't have to have the same opinion. Yeah,
and I agree. Physical violence or acts of or illegal activity would be the line. That's not free speech anymore. That's
no, right.
But they're trying to make speech illegal. I mean, in fact, it is in many places. You go on to university campuses and even certain workplaces, all this, these, not harassment, but these meetings that people have to have now about race relations and gender stuff and what you can say and what you can't say, training, that sort of stuff, and safe spaces on universities. Wait a minute. They're trying to make speech illegal.
My grandson told me 2 weeks ago, we were at a wrestling, he told me, he said the assistant principal in our school came to our classroom and gave us a big speech about that kind of stuff. And he said, one thing, you cannot use the word gay in school for any reason. You just can't use the word.
What if I'm doing a report on 18th century English vocabulary?
He said you will be.
What if I'm singing Deck the Halls?
Yeah. What?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying it makes sense. But the word, I'm just supporting what you just said right here where we live. The assistant principal told the classrooms that wasn't the only word, but you cannot use the word in any shape, form. You can't use the word. No more. Wow. Nazi Germany or what? I mean, unbelievable that now I can understand not being mean or attacking somebody. But to just say that word can't be used in any way, shape, or form is, boy, talk about censorship. I mean, unbelievable. We said before we started talking here about this isn't America anymore, or at least not the America we grew up in.
No.
Absolutely not.
Cancel culture.
So how do you feel about, this is a common argument the other direction. So what about Colin Kaepernick?
Here's where I think the difference is between cancel culture and standing up for your values. Because I'll take the NFL as a great example. I did not agree at all with Colin Kaepernick's stance. I think statistics would even back up that his argument was bogus. You look at what the NFL has done. I didn't follow the last 2 years, but before that, you could see all this stuff brewing with George Floyd and all that sort of thing, and this wokeism that they're pushing. Here's the thing. I am not advocating at all that the NFL be canceled. I don't care. The NFL, do whatever. Roger Goodell, you do what you want, just sends out this memo. We're not hiring enough head coaches of diversity. Well, I know, because we're hiring the best of whoever's available. We have head coaches who are people of color, and we have head coaches who are people of white color. Like, what does it matter? Hire the best. I don't care if the NFL keeps running and keeps doing whatever they want to do. I'm just going to not watch. And I'm not going to support Colin Kaepernick. And I'm going to, in the areas that I feel at least a strong enough conviction, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff I support unknowingly that's not good. But in those areas, they keep running. Keep doing whatever you want to do. I'm just not going to support you.
Right.
Like, I think that's the great thing about our system and our country.
That would be America.
That would be America.
And the free market system and free enterprise. And I just think that's, I think less government, if the less government control in every area of life, we have to have some. We're a big country. There's 370 million people. You have to have some control. But let people decide. If I want to go to a restaurant where there's no smoking, there will be one. If I'm a smoker and want to go to a restaurant, there should be one. We can't just, that this is the idea of freedom.
Well, what about the workers there? Well, then go get a different
Go get
job somewhere else.
One that does.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's forcing us.
yeah.
At least my definition of freedom. Nobody forces you to do anything.
Right.
I think that's freedom. I don't think that's too far. I don't know if the dictionary's changed that definition
Have
recently.
you ever went into a Victoria's Secret store?
Yes.
It's very embarrassing.
We have wives. Yes.
I tell you.
Oh, you mean not with our wives or without?
You mean solo?
No.
I don't care who it's with. I prefer to
Do
stand
you
in the
care
hallway.
that it was Dave and I together?
My point is this, because I feel embarrassed or I shouldn't be there. I just feel like this is not, I shouldn't be allowed in the store. It's just it's a female thing. It's like that shouldn't be there. That doesn't mean they should close their doors. It doesn't mean they should, I just won't go there. I mean, that is the whole system.
It doesn't even mean that they're doing anything wrong.
Right.
No.
Right.
It just,
And people can have their own opinions.
Right.
Well, Kaepernick can kneel if he wants to, but if it's a private company, the owners, the bosses can say what they want to say. If they say we'll let you do that, then let you do that. If you don't want to watch it because you think it's just
whatever,
saying screw America, then you don't have to watch it.
Yep.
And if they get a different coach that says no, I won't have this on my team, then that guy will get fired. We should allow.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Allow that to happen. Well, here's the danger. What if it swings so much? What if our nation, what if our culture got to a place where lazy people couldn't work? Now we got to fix it. See, that's where we go. No, we don't.
Not at all.
See, if we find that, wow, only really aggressive, smart, hardworking people go to the top, well, somehow our culture thinks, well, we got to fix that. Let's put some people who don't know what they're doing up at the top, just to make it fair.
Right.
That is where we're off. We can't, just because the color of your skin, just because of where you grew up, just because of your gender, we have to put you here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Aren't we? The government should stay out of all that. Just, you know what? If you want a job being the best, true story. When I was in my late 20s, I wanted to work I was elk hunting a lot every year in Idaho. I wanted to work for the Idaho
DNR?
DNR, yeah, the Forest Service.
Oh,
nice.
So I stopped at the Forest Service ranger station there and just asked her, for an application. The gentleman there said, "You will never get a job here. You know nothing about me. Yes, you are male and you are white. You will never get hired. We have to.
This was
True story.
40 years ago?
30 years ago. 32, 33 years ago.
Wow.
Where, no, we now have to affirmative action stuff. No, we have to hire
You have a
so many
quota.
females and we have to hire so many minorities before we can ever hire a white male again. Tell me that's not discrimination, But
Sounds like it.
I mean, like, wait a minute. Can I at least apply and see? Can I compete with these other people? No.
No, we're going to throw your resume away because
Yes.
of the color of your skin.
Because of the color of your skin. Well, we have so many whites already. What's that got to do with me?
Yeah.
I don't get this. I don't get this idea of let's fix these problems.
Man, I have a dream.
Oh boy.
And I don't think I'm the first
love
one
this.
to have a dream.
If people would have actually went with this gentleman's ideas, which were amazing.
Yeah.
Let's start today
Yeah.
with what he tried to accomplish
Yep.
way back then.
I have a dream that one day, so my children, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Yes.
What a novel idea.
The content of their character and
Yep.
not by the color of their skin. So we want to make up for whatever. So now we are
We're
going
going
to judge.
swing the pendulum
I don't
way
care
the
what
other
the
way.
content of your character is. As a
Nope.
matter of fact, we're going to ignore that, and we're going to give you this opportunity just because of the color of your skin. Is ridiculous.
What was this with Whoopi? I forgot how we got here. off of
Cancel
Whoopi.
culture will
I'm trying
end up eating
Oh, yeah,
itself.
that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, what about maybe a different topic, but women's sports today. This idea of gender, you can just choose your gender. There's going to be this huge clash, which we're seeing it start. It's been subdued really a lot, though. But where you have biological males identifying as females, competing in college level and breaking all the female records. Where's the outcry with that? What are you going to do with that? When you break principles, you end up hitting a wall where
Eventually,
wait a minute, this doesn't work.
Right.
Well, then let's fix it this way. No. How about if we just let things go with principles that work? Yeah. I don't know. Some of this stuff it's going to implode on itself, and who knows where it's going to go.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. I did hear a comment. I don't know who it was, but somebody said, who is on the left, liberal, canceled people, said we have got to stop this cancel culture.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. It was with Whoopi. It was somebody
it was
on
about
NBC saying like, "Whoa, we can't cancel Whoopi. Where are we going to stop then?"
Yeah.
We're
What's
gonna-
next? Yeah.
Hello. I've been trying to say that for a while.
Rational people have been saying that for quite a while.
Yep. Years and years.
Yes.
It's been going on for a while. It's just now starting to spiral out of control. And,
Unfortunately, Christians are pretty bad at cancel culture too.
and
I
we've
think they
had this
started
discussion
it. I think they started it.
that we
I think so, too.
actually invented it
Yeah.
as Christians, and
Yep.
we got to own that.
And the biggest thing about Christianity's done some horrible things throughout the.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh! Just look back to the Inquisitions and unbelievable things. But I would suggest, or I would correct that and say it wasn't Christianity that did that.
No.
It was people who changed Christianity into a controlling religion in the name of Christianity. It's not Christianity at all.
Right.
We can prove that 1,000 times. However, in the name of religion, we have shut people down, canceled them, judged them. So bad. It's unbelievable. Burning people at the stake because they didn't act the way we thought they should. That's
sounds pretty unchristian.
unbelievable.
So on this topic of Whoopi and cancel culture and whatever and all the other 800 things we talked about, what would you say for Christians today? Like, what do we do with this?
I think always love people, but this idea of what would it look like if I love that person?
Didn't we say we were going to talk about that last week? We are going to do a whole episode. We got to remember this. Episode 3. What's love?
What's love? What does love
What's
look
love
like?
got to do?
However, let's take we'll save the love part.
Okay.
I think what Christians need to do is, in a very kind and patient way, do what we're doing here today. Speak in a non-condemning, attacking, which I tend to do sometimes, But if we could just try to stay patient and kind, but share another point of view, our traditional point of view, I think it will eventually, I believe truth wins in the end, even if it's the ultimate end. But
I was going to
what
say,
Christians
I
should
read the
do,
end of the book,
yeah.
I know.
What Christians should do today in America is speak up in a very kind, patient, and courteous way. Just this idea at the workplace, well, I disagree with that. If we cancel that, where's it going to be with
Let's
us?
follow that 10 steps down the
Yeah.
line. What do you think is going to happen?
Really quick story. I might have told this before. We built a motocross track at our house. The neighbors didn't like it. They had a meeting at the township, and the county board member was there to kind of control this meeting. And the county guy said, "We have rules. We have noise ordinances. And they're following all the ordinances we already have. There's nothing they're doing wrong." And one guy stood up and said, "How about if we make it illegal to pile dirt in piles?" And I'm telling you the real truth. Dirt in piles so that they can't make jumps. And then that will shut them down. And I stood up and said,
Wow.
"You can, sir," and he's still my neighbor, you can
Well,
try
how's that
to
been?
you can try to make a law or an ordinance that you can't pile dirt up in a pile. But remember this. The next time you want to pile dirt in your yard, you won't be able to. See, that's the concept of, if I want to stop you, I have to live by those same
If you
rules.
want to dig a pool,
Yeah.
if you want to, plant something, whatever,
Put it in a sprinkler system.
now you cannot do it because
Jesus
If you would be
said
piling
a
dirt.
long time ago, man, that guy was really wise. He said that whatever you use, whatever level or whatever principle you use to judge others, you will be judged by the same one.
yeah.
That is what we're talking about in all this stuff, is that if we want to judge other people that way, that's going to end up judging us. The cancel culture is showing it, that, wow, he was right the whole time. So what Christians should do is just speak these principles to people who haven't thought of it. I think the worst thing, to answer your question, the worst thing a Christian can do is just not say anything. And we're told to shut up. Hey, I would never say it's okay to put people down or be aggressive, but to be assertive is what we're missing.
Right.
Christians or people with traditional values, they don't have to be Christian, but to speak up.
Not to run away and form our own little clubs
No.
and schools and areas. And
The
just
worst thing Christians ever
detach
did
from
was
culture.
started homeschooling. I just think, hey, instead of making a difference and fighting against the wave, let's just run away.
So the wave
I'm
gets
not sure I
stronger.
agree with that,
Yeah.
And then the wave gets stronger.
Yep.
Casey and I have talked about that with our girls. That's why they're still in there. Some of the stuff is like, but
It's tough.
I mean, ultimately, it comes back to like, no, I'd rather them.
It's the world they live in.
When they
However-
grow up and get out of school, they're going to be faced with it anyway.
Yeah.
I'd rather teach them how to deal with it, how to think, how to have relationships with people who don't think the same way, than just like, boom, you're 18, here you go into the world. Like, what?
If you
That
are,
sounds like a
if
recipe
you are,
for.
and if you and your wife are not going to take raising your children, rearing your children properly, teaching and training them, if you're not going to take that seriously, don't send them to public school. But if you're going to take that seriously, you will have teaching moments every day that you will teach and train them why we believe what we believe and why that's different, and how that's harmful. And boy, they will come out way better than isolating them.
And then
Way better,
here's the
yeah.
world.
Yeah.
At 18,
Boom.
here you go.
So you're building a firm foundation. There's a principle there too somewhere.
However,
I will build my life.
I would suggest, this is just an opinion, we're way off topic, but it wouldn't hurt to homeschool or private school your kids until they're at least in the 4th grade. I mean, when they're too young to maybe, but that's just for
Maybe.
another day. But
Interesting.
teaching and training them at home.
Isn't this whole like freedom, not cancel culture, assertive but in love? Isn't that kind of like a pretty good description of Christianity? Even though
Yeah, it should be, yeah.
I mean, there's not like some of the other major religions around the world, Islam or whatever, that like kill the infidel, definition of cancel culture sort of stuff. Christianity at its core is very, I'm here, I'm open, this is what God says, I sent my son. But like, you don't have to. I'm not going to make you. My kindness will draw you to repentance, and we'll go from there.
I believe in freedom so much that Christians would want to stop a Buddhist temple from being built across the street, or stop a mosque from, hey, what if the pile of dirt? If you're going to stop that one, then they're going to stop you. Hey, the
Eventually
freedom
it'll
is,
come around.
if you want to be a Muslim, be one. If I want to be
Absolutely.
a Christian, I'll be one. And I will try to draw you by God's love, Christ's love, and you will try to draw me. I get that.
Yep.
But freedom is, do you understand the concept? You know?
Freedom means what I like can happen.
Yes. And
And
so
that's it.
can that person's.
Oh.
And so can yours.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you want to live that lifestyle, you have the freedom to do that. But I have the freedom to not live that
disagree.
lifestyle. I have a freedom to disagree.
Yeah.
Your values don't have to be my value. That's where Christians got off so bad.
Oh,
they
boy.
think America's got to run on all Christian values. Not and stay free.
No,
You know?
America's not a theocracy.
No, it's not.
It was never designed to be.
No.
And I think that's where the my truth theory comes from. It's really my values
Yes.
is what it should be. Because that I could get behind.
Sure.
What I value
Yeah.
is not what you value or what
Right.
you value. They're my values.
And can we kumbaya? Can we live together? Can we tolerate one another? Yes, we should
Sure.
be able
He
to.
voided the word
But
coexist.
in our tolerating, see today too,
Yeah.
no, you need to embrace and value my
Tolerate
views.
doesn't mean tolerate anymore.
No, why do I have to value what you value and disagree? I can't do that. And this trying to make people, that's like trying to make everybody a Christian the way I am. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So why is our culture trying to force me, literally force me to embrace and value lifestyles and behaviors and values different, opposite of my own?
Yeah.
Can't we coexist? Can't we tolerate one another and live in peace without embracing value? you know?
Without canceling people.
Yeah, of course.
I think we can.
That's America.
Yep, I think we can too. But yeah, like you had said, tolerate doesn't mean tolerate anymore. There's lots of words that don't mean, well, you had said gay earlier.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the same thing anymore.
Right.
Like,
I don't think we should cancel Whoopi. I just think those of us that have opinions about her that she doesn't know what she's talking about and I
Right.
don't like her agenda,
Then
then just don't watch her.
yeah.
Right.
You know what? If enough people just stop tuning in and stop talking about it, and there's the timer, if we do that, eventually
Yes.
the
I agree.
problem will
I
take
wouldn't-
care
I
of
wouldn't
itself.
cancel
Shouldn't she
Whoopi.
have a right in America to voice her opinion,
Absolutely.
even if it's wrong?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
can be wrong if you want.
Everybody has that right
Yeah.
and should maintain to have that right.
Amen.
Maintain, I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. All right. Well, the timer went off, so we're gonna lose.
We're
our
gonna lose
feed.
cameras soon.
Yes. So yeah, as you've seen now from 2 episodes, these things spiral out of control. Completely out of
We're
control.
going to start with a topic and end when the timer goes off.
And we'll see where we end up. But
we should call this Three Guys BSing.
yeah, 3 guys BSing. Yes.
Well, thanks for
Okay.
watching.
Well, we'll see you next week.